The following is a presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Broadcasting from the campus of Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, the Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show is on the air. Your chance to hear from Liberty Head Women's Basketball Coach Alexis Sherard comes your way on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show is presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show is also brought to you by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. It's Bo time. Carter Bank. Life lived full. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Lynchburg Nissan. Nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Rogers Heating and Cooling, servicing Greater Lynchburg's HVAC and electrical needs. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. And by the United States Space Force. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Mills for three. Yes! Avery Mills from 3rd Street. Liberty leads 57-51.
Now let's talk Liberty Flames women's basketball. Here's your host, the voice of the Lady Flames, Jamie Hall.
Welcome into this week's Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show. We've got a great program ahead for you. It was an outstanding week for the Lady Flames. They got 2 wins. They're having a great run in the month of February. They're dealing with some injuries, and we'll talk to Coach Alexis Sherard about that coming up in a little bit. But it seems like everybody has really kind of stepped up, and if you're averaging 5 the last few weeks, you've averaged 7. If you're averaging 12, you're averaging 14. Everybody has kind of upped their game just a little bit and really dug in on defense. That's really been the biggest reason why the Lady Flames are playing so well. The last game against UTEP and New Mexico State, the last 2 games, they gave up 48 points to UTEP, won 58-48, and then only gave up 42 points to New Mexico State and won 67-42. And really, that game should have been in the 30s because the last minute or so, New Mexico State got, I think, 4 points that was kind of in garbage time. So it's been a nice run defensively for the Lady Flames. And again, we'll talk to Coach Sherard about all the X's and O's coming up here in just a little bit. But right now, our special guest on today's program is Lydie Mwamba. Lydie, welcome in.
Hello. Thank you.
I got to start with your name.
Yes.
Because, and you and I have talked about this, that there's some tough pronunciations on the Lady Flames roster. It goes really from top to bottom. There are very few Avery Mills. Like, everybody has a little something unique about their name, which is cool because there's so much international flavor. That's the biggest reason. There's 7 international players on the team. Mm-hmm. Is Lydie, is that your original name, or is that so? Lydie that's
yes.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if that was, because sometimes you see a player or a person from China or Japan or some of the African countries that has a difficult name from beginning to end.
Yes.
And then they have more of an Americanized name.
Yeah.
You're from Thailand, but they call you Pam, or you're from they call you Anna or whatever.
Yes.
But Lydie is your original name,
yes.
and then you told me your middle name, which translates to Queen,
yes,
which is what everybody calls you here.
Yes.
And I guess give us your full given birth name and how you pronounce it, and then we'll talk about some of the pieces and parts.
Okay. My name is Chanda Mwamba Lydie, but everybody call me Queen.
Okay.
And back home they call me on my middle name, Chanda.
Is it you? Because you said it in a different order.
Yes.
Is that the way it's done?
Back home, yes.
In the Congo, okay.
Yeah, it's just like you're giving them first. So like the name that your parents give to you, your parents' name, and the name they give to everybody to call you. So they call me, like at school, they call me Chanda. And at home, they call me Lydie or Chanda. So it's just whatever they feel like. So yeah.
Okay. See, I learned a little because every country's different.
Yeah.
There's Scandinavian countries that your name is kind of based off of who your father was. So if you're William, well, like Elizabeth's last name has it's daughter, you know, at the end of it, and Carl's son would be Carl's son, and so on. So that's fun. That it's a slightly different order than what we're used to here. What did everybody? You said everybody either calls you. What do they call you back? What do your parents call you? Or what do your family call you?
Both.
Both?
Yeah. Whatever they feel like they're gonna call me Lydie, they're gonna call me Chanda, so both. Is
there ever one when things are good, it's one way, and if you're in trouble, did you get a different one growing up?
Not really.
No,
they just, especially my dad. My dad called me my middle name a lot, so he just called me Chanda a lot. So yeah. I usually didn't get my middle name included unless I was doing something wrong. Oh.
Yeah, it was Jamie, Carl.
And you just know.
I know, yeah, because I didn't usually get the middle name unless I'd done something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so your journey to Liberty has taken quite a few stops along the way, but you were in the United States before you started playing college basketball, and then you've now had 3 places that you've played college basketball. But let's go back to your original journey to coming to the United States. What caused that, or what allowed you to come here? What was the circumstances around that, and how old were you?
I was 16 when I came to America. I came in 10th grade, and that was 2018. So 2 of my friends, because back home the way staff work, we don't have like school teams. We have like academics or different leagues and stuff. So we have a league back home. The name was Promotion Basket. It's like a league for just young kids. And so my friends were selected. They found a school in America a year 2017. So one time they was playing AAU game. Somebody asked them if they have a friend who they can bring here to play basketball. And my friend was like, oh, we have a friend back home. Her name is Lydie. And that friend contacted me, and I started contact with my dad, and I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where were the places that you played, I guess, high school basketball, and then you started off at a community college, I guess was called in name, but you played junior college basketball. Where were you actually located?
In high school?
In high school.
Oh, I went to a Christian school in Pennsylvania 2 years for the COVID year. I transferred. I went to a boarding school in Maine, high school. It was a boarding school. I just did for 2 years. Then I went to Trinity Valley for 2 more years, New Mexico, and here.
Where is Trinity Valley?
In Texas.
In Texas.
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was, but I wanted to make sure that I was right about that.
Yeah.
So you went from Pennsylvania, which is wintry for sure. Mm-hmm. It's maybe not as wintry as Maine. So you go from Pennsylvania to now you're in Maine, which is so different than how you grew up.
Yeah.
And then to Texas, which is similar to New Mexico, but nothing like Pennsylvania or Maine.
Yes.
And then now you go from Texas to New Mexico to Virginia, which is kind of in the middle. You've got winter, but it's not as bad as the places you've been. But that had to be climate shock for you when you first got to Maine, Pennsylvania and then Maine.
Yeah.
Considering, I'm assuming you, again, I don't know the topography of the Congo as well as I probably should. Mm-hmm. Did you have snow growing up?
No.
Okay, Africa, I didn't think so.
No, in Africa we do have snow. We just have like a summer vibe. Like it's always hot. Even if it's raining, it's just summer vibe. It's just hot. We don't have snow.
There's not even a mountain that's high enough that there's.
No. We do have mountains. We have mountains. Actually, before I came, I visited the volcano. Twice. We have a lot of mountains. Yeah, back home is a lot of valley mountains and stuff. So yeah, it's really beautiful. Any
snow on the tops of the mountains in the wintertime? You're too close to the equator.
It was cold when we get on top of it, but it was no. No snow.
Okay.
Not at all. Yeah.
Because we think we just went to Hawaii back in December,
Yes.
and most people don't think of Hawaii having snow, but some of the highest mountains can get snow
Yeah.
in the wintertime. Now, not a lot, but just enough to say, okay, yeah, Hawaii does have snow. So I wasn't sure if maybe there was a mountain that was high enough that might get a little bit of snow, but that's still not the same as living in Maine.
Yes, true.
Even if you can see a little snow on a mountain, it's not the same as having 2 feet of snow. Do you have any stories about when you first had to deal with the winters up north?
Not really. I was just ready for it because my host family would just let me know that like it's about to rain or it's gonna be cold. You need to wear this. You need to have this. But man, it was so shocking because I remember it was snowing on Sunday. Then we need to go in class the next day, and I didn't have like my ears carving whatever. So when I was walking, my ear was hurting real bad, and I was like, this is not good. This is not good. Yeah. So
took a little bit of an adjustment. You probably had to add some extra clothes.
Extra because it's never really cold back home. So I just wear hoodie for wear. But here I need to wear like a whole jacket because the cold is bad. Yeah.
Did you enjoy the snow at all?
I don't like the cold.
No. So what we got here in January and early February, not happy about it.
No, yeah. I was double everything. Yeah.
Well, I can understand that for sure. What are some other, I guess, cultural transitions that you had to make when you first got to the United States? Was the food a big issue?
Oh yeah.
What was the biggest difference?
I was calling my mom. I was like, oh my God, the food here is not really great. And she was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I mean, everybody just like pizza. I'm not a fan of pizza. And I was like, that's not like a real food. You need to have like a really nice meal to eat. So I be just so concerned people just eat like fast food, you know. Like, I mean, back home we have fast food, but it's not just like I think that everybody just enjoy doing it every day. So I always tell my mom, like, yeah, it's like people really just go to the restaurant and they don't really cook. They just like DoorDash or like just buy food and just do fast food. They don't really like do the cooking. And that's really a big difference too. Like the food is very different.
And I'm not trying to tell stories about your teammates, but I wish I had an investment in DoorDash because I know some of your, especially in the past, I don't know if it's as much right now. You can tell me, but I know the last couple of years, the number of times that I heard someone talking about DoorDash, and it was people with cars. And you've got to come to practice every day. You got to come to school almost every day. Maybe you have a Sunday off or something, but you've got a car. Just go pick it up. How much money they were spending on DoorDash because you pay more with DoorDash and you have to tip and all that. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to come up with a service. I could make a lot of money if I just for the basketball team and go, okay, yeah, just give me your order and I'll pick everything up and you guys can tip me $20 and you know.
Yeah, actually, like when you use DoorDash for so long, I do that sometime too. So when you use DoorDash for so long, at a certain point, like you start to get like 3% off. Like if it was $17. You're gonna get less, like you're gonna be like 15. They take $2 because you've been using DoorDash for so long. So you just feel like, okay, 15 is not bad. Then 17. So we just do it sometimes. I don't feel like doing all that. I just want to get my food at my door, grab and eat. So yeah.
So you're in the DoorDash VIP club, basically.
Technically, yeah. Like you just get less and less. Yeah.
I never certainly when I was your age, and then even when I was a younger adult. I didn't pay as much attention to fees and things. But as you get older, you start looking at stuff, and especially as prices go up, you go, golly, when I was in college, we didn't have there was no delivery fee for Domino's. Now they charge you $5 for a delivery fee, and you start adding it up, and you go, if I go on my way home, let's just say Domino's. I know you don't like pizza, but just for this example, we use Domino's because it's kind of convenient. Yeah. So if I'm on my way home and I order a carry-out pizza, $7.99, or even if you get like a specialty pizza, $10, $12, whatever it is, and I pick it up, it costs $12. Yeah. If I have that same pizza delivered, and you have to give the $5 delivery fee, and then you need to tip something, maybe $3, $4, depending on how far they had to drive and so on. Yeah. So then you start looking at it and you go, I just paid $22, and if I would have picked it up, it would have cost me $12.
Yeah.
And when you start thinking of it from that perspective, you start carrying out more and more because you add that up at the end of the year and you go, every time I got a pizza, I paid $10 more. Well, if I save that $10 and if I buy 100 pizzas a year, that's $1,000. You can take a vacation, you know. True. That's a plane ticket and a hotel for a nice trip somewhere. So you'll as you get older, some of those things will start kind of kicking into your mind. You've got a very good resource on the women's basketball team. Sarah Baruta is the master planner, and she can save and find ways to take a trip to Australia. And you go, how did you take a trip to Australia? Well, I just didn't eat as much on road trips, and I was able to save my per diem money. And so you took a trip to Australia? Well, partly because of, So she's a great resource if you ever need someone for financial management. She would be a very good advisor.
True.
Well, I've gone off track here. We haven't even come close to talking about basketball. I'm going to ask you one quick question, then we'll take our first break. The level of basketball at the two places in high school compared to what you knew of basketball back home, how much of a difference, and then now into college, how much of a change has it been during your basketball transition?
From back home to here?
Yeah.
I feel like here is a really like more support, especially in the coaching staff and your teammates. And I feel like it's more sport because like everybody like worry about you. They check on you. They trying to know how you're doing. But back home is very different. You just can't play basketball. You gotta talk to your coach and that's it. It's not really much going on conversation. It's just when you're at the gym, that's when you're gonna see everybody. You're gonna talk to everybody. And everybody gonna go to their home. But here is different because your teammates here, you go in the same class with them. Then you have a same dorm with them. And some you live with them in the same apartment, so it's really like you guys just get closer and closer with each other every single day. And
I guess the fact that you were in a boarding school in high school was almost great preparation for college because it's basically the same thing. You're just a bit younger.
Yes.
Now the girls tease you because of your age. How old are you now?
23.
23. Yes. That's not that. I mean, that's not that old. But when you look at the team and you've got Z, was 17. I don't know if she's turned 18 yet, but when she got here, she was 17 years old. That's a pretty big gap.
It is.
Do you get the vibe that sometimes you're treated like, I'll just say big sister, but somebody might even say like the mother of the team because you're a little bit older than everybody else?
I just got jokes sometimes when they say like about like, oh, when Coach Sherard and I say like, oh, in my 19s, whatever. And everybody gonna be like, oh, Queen was there already. And I'll be like, oh my goodness. Because like they say like I'm old and everything. Like I don't feel like it affect anybody or just like, oh, she's old, she's not gonna do this. They just make sure like, I'm gonna include it, whatever I'm gonna say, whatever they're gonna tell me, we all listen to each other. So it don't really matter who is younger or is old, we all sisters together. So yeah.
Well, you've gotten some good experience, though, because of just your travels and the different places you've lived. We talked about the different climates, but you've had to adjust to Pennsylvania culture and Maine culture are different, and then certainly Texas is a different world, and then New Mexico is kind of unique itself. And now you're in Virginia, which is kind of a little bit of everything because of the university. There's so much diversity here. I mean, just on the basketball team. We'll take a break and then we'll talk about that because you guys are a close group. And if you just looked at the roster on paper where everybody's from, it wouldn't necessarily, you wouldn't think maybe that it would be a close group because there is so much diversity. But we'll talk about that after this quick break.
Okay, thank you very much.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community. And that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season. And that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time.
You're listening to the Liberty Women's Basketball Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Today's show will continue after this 1-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns. Our products are moving, and our trucks are rolling. We share a passion and a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Hi, this is Alan York, asking you to join the team as a member of the Flames Club. As a Flames Club member, you can make a difference by directly contributing to the success of Liberty Athletics. The Flames Club's mission is to raise the financial support needed to provide our coaches and student athletes with the resources to compete for championships. Membership levels vary and begin at just $75. Some gifts may even be tax deductible. When you join the Flames Club, you're truly investing in champions and championships. Join today at libertyflamesclub.org.
Welcome back in as we continue our conversation with Lydie Mwamba, who, if you're at a game and you hear her teammates talking to her, you're not going to hear either of those two names. You're going to hear Queen, which is the translation of her middle name if you're just tuning in. And Queen, we were talking about the diversity on this team, and if I'd have been smart, I'd have pulled up the roster because I'm going to forget some place. But we're talking about Spain and the Netherlands and Canada and Congo and Iceland, and who am I forgetting? Because I know I'm forgetting somebody. Because we got 2 from Spain, we've got 1 from Iceland, we've got the Netherlands, we've got Canada, we've got Congo, and I'm missing somebody. There's a 7th international player that, this is terrible. I'll have to edit this out so that I don't seem stupid. Who am I forgetting? We'll just look at the roster.
Spain. Turkey.
We talked about Z already. Yeah, we talked about her just a minute ago. And
Yes.
I already forgot. Turkey, yes. But there's so many different places represented. And even in the United States, we're talking about all different parts of the United States, too.
Yes.
You put this group together, and you go, boy, there could be conflicts. There's 17-year-olds and 23-year-olds. There's people that have been all over the world, and there have been people that have never left their hometown or barely, maybe they've left their home state. And you've got all these different things that come together, and you guys seem to the thing I've joked is that it almost seems like the whole team has the same 2 parents. Like you all just seem like a family. How on earth has it worked out that way?
I feel like the foundation is the coaches. They make sure that we love each other. Like in the summer, we have like the coaching meetings. They talk about like things we need to be done, because with the goal we have as a team, we need to win as a family, not just as a team. So we make sure like we are a family. So we make sure everybody's good. We check in on each other. We have like sometimes we have like we go to the each other dorm to just hang out and just have some fun time, or just play a little game to just make sure we all stay together and have a unity as a family. So yeah.
And with any family, I don't care how close you are, how good of a unit the family is, there's going to be disagreements, there's going to be arguments, but how do you make those arguments not turn into anything bigger than just a small little disagreement?
I just feel like we, the way we do stuff, we don't, if you feel like, I'm telling somebody something, and you feel like, they're not really like, take it for me, I'm not going to try to argue with them. We're going to let it go, and then next day we're going to come talk to each other one-on-one. Like I said this to you, you should take this back, and you should listen to this and this. So we just like, we don't really make it like a big thing, or everybody needs to know what's going on. We just talk to each other to just, to make everybody understand that we're all on the same page and stuff. So, yeah.
address the issue.
Yeah.
Don't talk behind people's backs and
Nope.
stuff like that. And that's usually the way to, to stay close as a group.
Yeah, because we all in the same team, so whatever is wrong with somebody is wrong with everybody. Everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to contribute. We need to know what's going on and how to fix it before the game, because we need to know we're all on the same page when we get on a course. So yeah.
Well, it's hard to believe because of all the different stops along your amazing journey to get to this point, but it's winding down. I'm not trying to make you sad by saying that. What's next once basketball's over? Would you like to continue to play basketball after college, or if not, or whenever it's done, what do you want to do professionally?
I'm trying to go home first. It's been 7 years, so the plan is going home, but I always want to go overseas, so we're trying to see if I can go in overseas, especially in Europe, because my brother's in Europe already, in France, and something in Europe would be really nice for me to play overseas. So, but after that, I'm trying to do like a business helping women in sport back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say like business advising kind of thing like that, or would you start your own business yourself?
Yeah, starting some business in sports, like a team or something, to just help them, to just have a vision of what I had here, to just make them to know what's going on and how they can get more opportunity to come here to have this dream that I have when I was younger, so some girls can have the same dream that I had to come here too.
Okay, so part of it would be maybe with sports even, because I know, certainly we're talking basketball, but it could be soccer, it could be track and field, it could be a lot of things as far as helping them to find their way like you did. Well, that's awesome. That is so cool. I hope that works out, and
I hope to.
Look forward to hearing about it. That's the great thing about social media now is there's people that I haven't seen in 10 years that are half a world away from me, and I feel like I know more about them than I do some people that live here in Lynchburg, because you can follow and along and see how things are. So we'll definitely be following along with that journey. That's awesome. You mentioned your brother. Tell us about your family.
Oh, it's 12 of us.
Wow.
Yes.
12 of you.
Yes, 10 parents, Vivian and Peter. And it's 4 girls and 8 boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where do you fall in the...
I'm the 4th.
You're the 4th.
Yeah.
Now, this is probably a stupid question, because if you've lived in this family and you know everybody, I don't think I'm going to stump you with this, but can you give the names in oldest to youngest?
Yes. We have Bridget, Lucien, Patrick, Lydie, Blessing, Prosper, Glory, Dear Merci, Plamedi, Jordan, Michael, and Gabriel. The last ones are twins.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And the names, I'm not going to remember every name you said, but there were some really cool names in there, Blessing and Glory. And so some very spiritual names.
Yes, my mom is a pastor.
Okay, that was my next question. What do your parents do? So your mom is a pastor.
Yes. And my dad was working with the MONUSCO. Is like a government thing, like people who protect my country from war. But they take that down 2 years ago because of the war was going on back home. So now we just like working at home, online stuff, looking for like selling houses and stuff. So that's what he's doing right now. Yeah.
So there was conflict.
Yeah.
How are things now as far as...
It's much better.
Is it? Okay.
It's really much better than a couple months, 2 years ago. It was getting worse and worse. So, yeah.
In some ways, has it been a blessing... Pardon your family member's name, but has it been a blessing to be away? And not that you want to be away from your family, but you didn't have to deal with some of those things because you were getting your education here?
Yes, it is. But at the same time, like, it's just like, oh, there is something going on back home, and I don't know if it's safe or not. But good things, my parents moved, so they're in the capital right now, so there's never up and down there. So when they moved, that's when everything started happening where they were before. So they're safe where they are right now. So yeah, they live in the capital. Yeah.
You said the time difference is 6 hours?
6 hours, yes.
Are you able to communicate, fairly reasonably with them, after a game, before a game? I guess maybe after a game might be kind of late at night.
Yeah.
But do you talk a lot? Do you get advice about basketball? Do you ever get any basketball advice from your family?
My parents don't really want to like put pressure on us about sports, because he remind us every day, like, in the end of the day, the ball gonna start bouncing. You need to figure out what other things you're gonna do about that. Even you have a bad game, you play good, you need to figure out, like, okay, I'm doing good. And if you're doing bad, just keep pushing yourself, because there's more things that gonna happen in your life than just bouncing the ball. So he gave us some more advice about, like, a real life stuff, not just in sports. So yeah.
Did you have a competitive family with that many brothers and sisters? Did you guys, was games out in the backyard, whether it be basketball or whatever, competitive?
Well, when I started my basketball, it was my two brothers. They were my coaches. So when they was coaching me to play basketball, I hated it so much, because they was yelling at me. And I just tell them, I don't want to do this. I was like, you're going to do it. You really going to just stay home by yourself. You're going to come here. You're going to play with us basketball. Then, yeah, I just love it then. They would just push me every day to just go hard, because we never know, and I'm here. So, yeah, I'm really thankful for my brother to pushing me, yeah.
It was kind of tough love, but it worked out. It worked out well.
Yeah.
I won't try to, because we're just about out of time, and I won't make you tell me what everybody's doing. But are there any other members of your family that are in the United States?
Oh, my brother who's in France was in here. So my 10th grade, when I came in 10th grade, he was a freshman in college. He went to Arlington, Texas.
Okay.
Then he went to Oral Roberts. Then he finished to Chicago Loyola. So, yeah.
So you had one ahead of you, which was nice, I guess. Yeah. It made you probably feel a little more comfortable coming, knowing that not super close, but at least there's someone here in the States, similar time zone, someone that you could talk to any time of day that you needed to. So that's cool.
Yeah, and my other oldest brother is in Maine now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Now, what's the youngest? How old are the twins?
They're 8, because when I left, they were 2.
Okay.
9. They're 9. Yeah, they're 9 years old.
So there's a chance that there could be more Mwambas that make their way to the you might be. You were talking about helping others to get to the United States. You might be able to be like your brother was to you and help them, find what their calling is, and maybe a way for them to do the same thing. Well, that is so cool. I wish we had more time, because I'd love to know more about your family. That sounds like it would be a very interesting household to grow up in, with so many brothers and sisters. And when you left 2-year-olds, I mean, everything from a big brother that's bossing you around, telling you what to do, to a 2-year-old that you're having to change diapers probably still, or close to it, that is so cool. Well, it's very nice to kind of learn more about you, and hope you have a great finish to the season, and all the success, and whatever the Lord leads as far as once you leave Liberty.
Thank you very much.
That was Lydie Mwamba. We'll be back with Head Coach Alexis Sherard right after this break.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
For 29 years, Lynchburg Nissan has proudly served the Lynchburg area and beyond. We're locally owned and operated because this community isn't just where we do business, it's home. At Lynchburg Nissan, we're committed to delivering extraordinary service in a professional, friendly way, making the car buying process simple and straightforward from start to finish. And don't forget, we're home of the 1,000,000-mile warranty. So when you're looking for your next vehicle, please remember, nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
You're listening to the Liberty Women's Basketball Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Today's show will continue after this 1-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Rogers Heating, Cooling, Electrical, and Plumbing. Your certified Generac backup generator experts. Online at callrogers.com.
The light from a star can take millions of years to reach Earth. So when you look at a star, you're looking back in time. But I see the future. I see exploration and courage. I see my country finding new horizons out there. And I see giant leaps making a comeback. I see myself. The future is where I'll make history.
This message is brought to you by the United States Space Force. More information is available at spaceforce.mil.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 35 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding Medicare, retirement planning, life insurance, the healthcare marketplace, and group insurance benefits. Call Thompson Brooks Insurance at 434-385-8500. That's 434-385-8500, or visit them online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Have you downloaded the Liberty Flames mobile app? If not, what are you waiting for? The Liberty Flames mobile app is your lifeline to Flames athletics. Get the latest news on your favorite teams, find upcoming schedules, buy and download tickets to the next game, listen to podcasts, and hear our online Liberty Flames Sports Network audio broadcasts.
Pass caught into the end zone. Light 'em up. Touchdown, Liberty.
It's all on the Liberty Flames mobile app. Download it for free from your mobile app store today.
Welcome back into this week's show. We're now joined by head coach Alexis Sherard. Coach, welcome in.
Thanks for having me, Jamie.
Before we do anything, there was a discrepancy. I don't know if that's the right word. There was a point of order if we were in Congress or parliamentary procedure. Point of order. And everybody has to stop what they're doing and let you ask your question. Well, Lydie, who we just talked to, Queen, as everybody on the team knows her. It was a great conversation, and I'm going to get your thoughts on Queen as her development over the course of the year, and her numbers have gone up as the season has gone along, and stepping in a bigger role as there have been some injuries as well. But she questioned who was taller, herself or you, because when I was setting up the camera, I was like, okay, I need to take into account that Coach Sherard's going to be just a little taller, so I'm going to give you a little more headroom. And then and she's like, no, he's shorter than me. He's going to be shorter than me. And so this is not an exact science, but judging by, I didn't move the tripod, I didn't move the camera, where you're sitting up against the wall, she was sitting up against the wall. Going by that, it looks like you've got her by at least an inch. But I think she's going to, until you're back to back up against, the 7-Eleven, the height chart at a 7-Eleven. Next time we're at a Sheetz or something like that, until you prove that you're taller than her, I don't think she's going to have anything of it. But this has been an ongoing struggle for you to convince her?
This has. Queen, Mrs. Personality Queen. Hey, if it means she's taller than me, which equates to her getting more points and more rebounds, I'll be shorter than her every day, all day, whatever she wants. So, but yeah, that's been an ongoing conversation that she has. I don't have. I just listen. So she's an amazing human being.
Her journey is remarkable, really, and a family of 12. Just to say survive that, but just you learn so much growing up in a household like that. I can't even fathom. I had one half brother and one half sister, and I grew up with my sister, and I have enough war stories over her. She was 9 years younger than me, trying to get me in trouble all the time. Megan, if you're watching this, you know it's true. But to have competition with 11 other siblings in the house, from 2 years old to older brothers that were trying to teach you how to play basketball and make you better. They were almost, she kind of called them her coaches as she was growing up. To come from that environment, which is amazing what she learned, to then go from Pennsylvania in high school to Maine in high school to Texas for JUCO to New Mexico, now to Virginia, for better or worse. She has really had to learn a lot of the ways of the world on her own, here in the United States, or with very little family, so far away. So the fact that she has done as well as she has is remarkable.
Yes, Queen, as you mentioned, that she's a remarkable story, and she's really grown up. She's really, well, you probably had no choice. She really had to mature quickly and learn and survive. I'm sure she's had a lot of support at all the stops that she's been. I know a lot of the coaches prior to us always speak very highly of her as a person, and that just speaks volumes about her character, who she is. I mean, to be moving from state to state and continue to do well and succeed and grow friends and relationships wherever she goes. And so we are blessed to have her. But she's an unbelievable story. She's overcome quite a bit. And she comes from a large family. I know she has a great relationship with her family, with her parents. They communicate quite regularly, which I think is strong. And they're their biggest supporters, even though they're not around, they're not close by. But she has a very, very strong support base from home.
With so much international flavor on the team, and other than the two Spaniards, which they didn't really know each other until they got here, but they, I guess, can relate a little bit culturally and so on. But there's just, you go from the Netherlands to Iceland to the Spain to, I mean, just so much different diversity, and even different places in the country. We talked about that. Even the Americans are not all from. It's not like everybody's from Virginia or everybody's from Texas or Florida. So has it been tough as a staff? Not tough, but have you kind of put resources towards, okay, we need to be more understanding of time zones because parents are in different time zones. There's just different things culturally, whether it be food or whether it be study habits or even writing on the whiteboard. And there's going to be some that have a much better grasp of slang and certain things as far as English is concerned. And there's going to be others that are still learning some of those things. Have you had to change the way you've coached or the way that you have administered this group because of how much international connection there is? Yeah, well, we try to over-communicate, and we don't want to assume that everyone's going to understand, my terminology, our coaching staff terminology. So usually every meeting we have, whether it's a meeting, whether it's film session, we really try to get the players to be more engaged, because I think the more we get feedback from them, the more we get a sense of what percentage are they really understanding. I really like to ask questions. I really like to, kind of counseling 101 after I say something. Okay, such and such. Now you repeat. What did you hear me say? How do you interpret that? So I try to give them an opportunity just to make sure there's complete clarity, because obviously in this business, communication is key. I mean, you don't want any gray areas. You don't want to have any miscommunication. You want to have clear expectations. So we really try to get the players' engagement, and that's simply just to make sure that the clarity and their understanding is up to par. And I know sometimes, and I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm going to use Liz as an example because she's been here for a while now. But even at this point, there are times when I feel she is very guarded because she wants to make sure she's saying the right way. She's saying the right phrase, the right word, that she's understanding what you're saying, but then also that she's not responding quickly and maybe saying something that doesn't sound right. So is patience with some of those scenarios important as well? Absolutely. I mean, we're any team as a coach, you have to have patience. I mean, it's like a school teacher. You're basically trying to teach them. It's a process. They're not going to retain everything. They're not going to learn everything on the first day. So as a coach, there's definitely, it's a process. And you have to understand there are different learning styles, and people are going to take in your information at different times, at different percentages, understanding at different levels. So absolutely, with regards to patience, that's got to be that's a given. That's a given. If you're coming in with no patience, you're going to be battling uphill, both ways. So, but I think our ladies, I try to encourage them to communicate more. Obviously, some are better than others. I mean, obviously, Queen doesn't mind communicating, but some of you have your quiet ones. But you just have to make them feel comfortable. You have to make sure it's a safe place here. And if they say something wrong, if they misinterpret, there's no problem. There's no judgment. So, and I think that's actually been one of our keys.
are things for this team. Romans 14, you know what I mean? There's no judgment, no matter where you're coming from, you know what I mean? What type of foods you eat, what music you listen to. We still want to love one another, pray for one another. So, we just try to create, within our culture, a safe place. Obviously, players coming from all over the world, which is obviously a testament to Liberty University. I mean, they can recruit, attract families from all over the world. This, one of the best universities in the country. So, we try to provide a safe place for them. And, just like I said, communication is going to be very, very important for our success.
And I guess especially over the last couple of weeks, because players are playing slightly different roles or playing more minutes or coming in at different times than when they may have otherwise, because you're dealing with some injuries now. And I unfortunately have to say plural. It was just Avery Mills, but then we saw Malia Alexander also go down with an injury in the last game. We'll talk about the victories. It's been a great month of February, but you have had to kind of battle it uphill a little bit. And I don't want to say that you've changed any philosophies, but the one thing that certainly has changed is where these games have been played. Instead of playing games that maybe are in the 70s, or we even saw some 80s, at some point early in the season. Now, the right zone is probably 50s. If you can score 60 and you can hold your opponent in the 50s, you're gonna win the basketball game. Right. And with a little bit of the offense on the shelf, unfortunately, you've had to kind of to dig in a little more. But maybe that's a good thing if everybody ends up getting healthy, obviously. Maybe it's kind of a good thing that you've had to focus the attention on defense, or the players have had to focus their attention on defense more.
Yeah, so, we started off the season with everyone in new roles, people now, Avery Mills, Emmy Stout, top of people's scout reports. And as the season progressed, injury plays a part, and players are in even different roles than how they started. So I think the ladies have embraced it pretty well. People are stepping up, but no question. Defense has to be, our saving grace, our foundation of who we are, our identity. And I think they've done a really, really good job. We have players that are stepping up, scoring a little bit above their average, which obviously helps, but as I say, you can run the same set twice, perfect execution. One time the ball goes in the hole, the other time it doesn't. So, that's something you can't control. But on the defensive end, limiting your opponent to one shot per possession, rebounding, all the grit and effort and intensity categories, those are things that we have to control, and that's going to come from the defensive side of the basketball.
Gave up only 48 points to UTEP and won that game 58-48. Really, the game was in the 30s against New Mexico State. They scored a few baskets at the end when it was garbage time. 67-42. Not that I'm complaining on 42, but that really could have been a 67-38 game or something like that. That would have just looked gaudy as far as the defensive side of things in that basketball game. So your team has done exactly what you expected of them. By way of comparison, you scored 80 points in the game at UTEP to win by 20, and you win by 10, but you only scored 58 points in the second game. So the team has definitely had to transition or morph or evolve, I guess, as the season has gone along.
Yeah, no question. And even with those wins, that was, especially in the month of January, defense has been probably our biggest problem, just getting stops. You can't really outscore people against a really good team. So I think our team has developed and really has established a sense of a defensive identity now. And given the injuries, losing some points, losing your leading scorer, it's probably a good time to really, hone in on the defense, because, if you're not going to score at that high rate, you better get some stops then, or else it's going to be a recipe for disaster.
Any update on Avery and Malia as far as their injuries?
They're still day to day, Jamie. Still evaluating, to really trying to pinpoint. I know the staff is feeling optimistic. How optimistic? I'm not really sure, but she's just labeled as day to day still.
That's Avery.
Correct.
Okay. And we saw Malia kind of get banged up a little bit too. Is she in a similar boat?
Yeah, she is. They're both dealing with sprained ankles. And Malia most recently, obviously. And she as well is just day to day, just trying to, get that thing stronger and better and get her back onto the floor as soon as possible.
they're roommates as well, so they got to do everything together. That's unbelievable. Joking, obviously, but I think that's probably something that they would joke about too. They're both wearing boots at home. I think different legs. I think
good question.
Right and left, I think
so too.
I think opposite. So at least they didn't pick the exact same leg. But I guess in the big picture, let's go on the assumption that you've got a couple weeks and everybody does get healthy by conference tournament time. And right now you're in pretty good shape. We'll look at the standings here in just a second to be in the top 6 to where you play one less game. If you stay in the top 6 and you make it to the tournament in that mode of them being healthy, even if it's not 100%, let's say they both get back in their 90% and you've got your full roster, has Avery's absence and then now maybe Malia having a little bit of an absence too, is it going to help you guys at the end because players have been forced to step up and play in different roles, play more minutes, get more experience?
Absolutely. I mean, the philosophy of next teammate up, when your leading scorer goes down, I mean, obviously everyone has to step up. A couple of games ago, Ife's taking a shot at the end of the game, you know what I mean? Which, if Avery's here, maybe she's not in that predicament. So the experience that they're gaining with Avery out, even Malia out now, you know what I mean? There's just more possessions. There's more opportunities for them to experience different aspects of the game, different special situations that, maybe normally they're not involved in. So I think if the more experience our team gains, the more confidence they get. And then when you get your full team back healthy, I mean, that's only going to be, improvement across the board for the whole roster.
When you were playing, did you ever have any ankle injuries?
Never.
Never had any ankle injuries? Not trying to talk anything into existence because I know you still play, but did you have any other injuries that you've had to deal with?
I broke my 5th metatarsal. So it was my foot, so close enough. But that was it. That was just that one injury. I think that was my junior year, a million years ago. But besides that, no, injury-free.
I remember as a kid, we'd play all the time out in the backyard, and not just basketball, sometimes touch football or baseball, whatever sport we could find. And I never remember having, wearing any kind of, weren't wearing any knee braces or ankle braces or anything like that as a kid. And you'd roll your ankle every once in a while. I remember doing that a few times as a kid. Didn't think much of it. Fast forward to intramurals and playing, pickup games. And when I'm in my 20s, didn't notice it too much. Hit about 30, and it seemed like my ankle would turn if I stepped on a pebble. And so now, I mean, I looked like, I don't know, Kurt Rambis, just had every piece of gear I could find. If I needed to wear goggles, I would knee brace, ankle brace. I was walking around. I mean, I probably was stiff. I looked like the kid from the Christmas Story movie with the I could barely move because I had all had the sleeve on and the elbow guard. I was like, well, you hit a certain age and it starts happening. I'm glad it hasn't happened to you, but every time I see an ankle turn, it reminds me of how susceptible and I say this to say, once you have an ankle injury, you tend to re-aggravate it more. It's more likely that you're going to re-aggravate it. And I guess that's a mental problem that you've got to get past. But is there an equipment thing as well? Like, I remember when we grew up, you had high tops. Now high tops aren't in vogue as much as they were. I mean, there was some those Adidas high tops almost went up halfway up your ankle. Do you think that there's anything to that?
Well, I think today's science, they're leaning more towards strengthening the ankle and not restricting it in an ankle brace or taping it. So I know they have this Delos machine that they kind of measure the strength of each player's ankle. And if you clear a certain percentage of this machine that they have, you don't have to be taped, but you have to have a certain percentage of strength in order to play untaped or, with low tops. But I know that the science today, they're trying to have the players play with low tops, no tape, no ankle braces, and just work on flexibility and strength just so, because they say, when you wear ankle braces, you're kind of weakening your ankle having that brace on there and not naturally just taking the, little turns and twists that, are causing the game of basketball. So, everything's evolving. You know what I mean? It's a new day. So, you know, back when we were playing a million years ago, it's, you know, we had ankle braces, tape and ankle brace. You know, so now, I mean, the trainers would probably go crazy if they ever saw that. So I think they're more toward the flexibility and strength in conjunction with trying to injury prevention.
We've talked about your kind of evolving as being now from an assistant coach to a head coach, and some of the changes and things that you didn't really have to deal with before. And I'm sure you dealt with some of the medical side of it, just trying to find out who's available. But Coach Green probably was the main point person as far as talking to the medical staff. Now you get to learn that. So you have gone from being an assistant coach and the head recruiting coordinator to now being the CEO of the program. You also are the media relations of the program, and you've probably got at least an associate's degree in physical therapy and athletic training now that you've been the head coach for, 8-9 months?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely learning more medical terms than I have known in the past just through these few injuries that we've had. So it's been exciting. I mean, I don't have one complaint on the table, and you know, to whom much is given, much is required, and I've been blessed. I like I say, I have no complaints, and I have a great support staff, and they provide me with all the information that I need. And I know they're doing everything that they can, you know what I mean, just with regards to trying to get players back on the hardwood, back with the team. So, you know, we're blessed across the board.
Let's take a quick look at the standings. Louisiana Tech has really pulled away, which I don't know coming into the year. I think everybody kind of thought that they were picked to win the thing. But I don't know if anybody really thought that they were going to have they were going to be 3 games clear in first place at this point. I know some people might have thought you could lose 3 or 4 games and still be regular season champs, and that doesn't look like that's going to be the case now. Louisiana Tech 12-1, Middle Tennessee 3 full games behind them at 9-4. Sam Houston and FIU 3.5 games. Sam Houston 3.5 games behind. FIU is 4 games behind, and then you got Missouri State at 7-5 and Liberty at 7-6. Jack State and Delaware right behind a game behind Liberty as far as that 6th spot, and then Kennesaw State and New Mexico State in the tournament. If it ended right now, UTEP and WKU would be out of the tournament. But the part of that I want to kind of focus on is in the middle. So you've got a Missouri State team that is a half game ahead of you, but you've beaten them. So if you win this next game against Missouri State, now you have taken their spot because you've got the same record as them. Actually, you'd have a better record than them because they have 1 game more to play. But then you'd also have the tiebreaker, having beaten them twice. So that's how important that game is as far as moving up in the standings. FIU is only 1 spot ahead of that, so in theory, you could move a couple of spots this weekend with these upcoming games at Missouri State and FIU. But then right on your heels is Jack State and Delaware. You've kind of got a 2-game lead on Jack State because you've beaten them and you only play them once. So they'd have to actually be ahead of you in the standings. But Delaware, they're a game behind, and right now they have the tiebreaker because they've won the 1 game. So there's a lot left to play for. And I'm not trying to overpressure you, but there's so much on the line this weekend. You could almost jump. You could almost jump into 4th place this weekend.
Yeah, no, this is a big week, and you know, in order to move up the standings, you have to beat teams that are ahead of you. So both of these teams are obviously above us in the standings. So and obviously Missouri State, we were able to beat them here, but they'll be very difficult. Be a tough game playing in their place. FIU has already beat us 1 time, so I think our team they're looking forward to the challenge. I think we're playing better from when we played them last. And again, you know, this week, just with regards to preparation, you know, it's just going to come down to just being tough, you know, getting stops, protecting the paint, you know, getting rebounds. And, you know, like I always say, anytime we can make a couple of shots, that always makes our life a little bit easier. But, you know, we'll have our hands full, but I think we'll be ready for the challenge.
Missouri State, like you said, you beat them at home, played a pretty complete game for the most part. What's it going to take or what did you guys learn from that game that you need to emulate again on the road in a tougher environment, obviously?
Well, I felt like we did a pretty good job protecting the paint, rebounding. Their best player, Berkemeyer, did she not have a good game? Was it our defense? Could be a combination of the two. we're anticipating her being locked in and ready to go. So we'll need to, do a good job on her. She's one of the top players in the conference, obviously. And we were very pleased with our transition defense as well. So, sometimes in the game of basketball, just duplicating things, doing it again can be challenging. So, you got to be locked in, you got to be focused. But the good thing is we beat them one time. So we know that it's capable. We're capable of beating that team. So we just have to, dot our I's, cross our T's. Most importantly, get our rest. Recovery is so important this time of year. I think we only have 5 games left. So, everyone has bumps and bruises. So I think this is going to be probably, one of the most important things just as far as preparation, being ready to play. And, on that Thursday, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whenever it is, we're at full strength with whoever's left on the roster.
And then a short turnaround and a long trip to get from Missouri State to FIU. When you played them here, it seemed like the game just kind of got away a little bit. It seemed like the teams were fairly even. It just sort of got away from you in that game, and it'd be easy to write that one off before it even started because of the travel and the second of 2 out of 3 days and all that. But that certainly doesn't seem like that's in the DNA of your basketball team.
Right. No. Our ladies, they've done, like we said before, they've done pretty well on the road. And, everyone has to do it. Everyone has the same travel schedule. So, at Missouri to FIU, everyone in the conference has to do it. And we just have to be locked in and ready to go.
Next week, when we have a little more time, I want you to become CUSA commissioner and NCAA president. So that I'll give you this week to kind of be thinking about this. What are some things you would do differently if you were the CUSA commissioner? Schedule changes, anything to do with the tournament, just anything now that you've had almost a full season under your belt as a head coach. What were some things you would suggest to change in the conference? And then we'll even go one step further. We'll talk about NCAA, NIL, transfer portal, anything you want to address. Next week, you're going to have 2 hats on. But we'll talk about that next week, hopefully after a couple of nice road wins and a chance to start a 3-game home stand, which is going to be great for the fans to get 3 last chances of seeing the Lady Flames in a row before the tournament.
I'm looking forward to it.
If you want more information on how you can follow or get those tickets, go to libertyflames.com or download the Liberty Flames app. Until we talk again, this is Jamie Hall saying so long and God bless.
You've been listening to the Liberty Women's Basketball Show with head coach Alexis Sherard on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Today's show has been presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show has also been brought to you by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. It's Bo time. Carter Bank. Life lived full. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Lynchburg Nissan. Nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Rogers Heating and Cooling, servicing Greater Lynchburg's HVAC and electrical needs. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. And by the United States Space Force. Liberty Flames Basketball is an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.